All right, back to it. Tippy got the first set 9-5. I'll reset this to where it says 8-ball, and it looks like Brian won the break. So this will be 8-ball, race to 8.
Are they playing yet?
Yeah, they just started. Alright, so we should be reset now.
Switching spots or no?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, we'll do that. Let's look at get the score up there.
I'll get it up.
Yeah, I can't remember what he did to do that.
We should.
It's good to go. I'll just double click.
No.
It's done. I hit go, but there's got to be a way to pull it up on the bottom of the screen.
We gotta turn this back on.
See, I hit red.
X on it? Yeah.
There's an X on it.
That happens.
Everything should be back up in order here.
So for those just tuning in, Tippy took down the first set, 9-ball race to 9, won 9-5, which sounds a little more lopsided than it actually was if you didn't get to watch it. This will get uploaded to YouTube. I don't think probably later today, but eventually. Kids usually pretty good about getting those up. But it was a very good set to watch, very entertaining. But now we're on to the 8-ball. Just starting here. Ruth's got a bit of a tricky situation.
Yeah, he can definitely make the 2. I don't know. He's gonna have to try and play with the 6. That is not what he. Or is that the 14 ball? Oh, I thought that was the 6 ball. So yeah, it was pretty good to get out of there. I was thinking that there was a 6 on the other side of the 13.
You and me both.
So yeah, he played that very well. If he's not on that half of the table, he's got a pretty tough shot to the side pocket. Oh.
And he opened up that cluster.
Yeah. That was a pretty good run. He could have got a nice little... he had a pretty good shot at that 8-ball. I would definitely expect Tippy to get out here.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk with Brian during the break. He's pretty confident still. I mean, he liked the way that he shot. It's just, 9-ball. Sometimes you catch a bad roll, and it is what it is. But definitely didn't seem downtrodden or anything. It's a pretty uncharacteristic miss by him on that 8-ball. I would have expected him to make that, at least 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm sure he would too.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
I don't think these guys ever plan to miss.
No, it's pretty important. I mean, confidence is a huge thing in any cue sport. Leave himself a lot of angle here, but luckily he can draw the ball anywhere. Ooh, this could get a little hairy.
Now did you see that? What the Whitey rolled back?
Yeah, it must have hit something or there's some chalk on the ball. I don't know.
I think so. I think probably.
This is a pretty close proximity shot, but I still say he makes it. Oh, he missed it.
And he misses it.
So they both get an extra turn at the table in the first rack.
Well, now that we're all warmed up.
Yeah. And apparently they are both human, so.
No kidding. Hard to believe sometimes, but Tippy does miss.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised. I thought he tried to gas that draw a little bit more and get it back on the other side of the 8, and maybe that's what he was trying to do. He just understroked it. Tippy gets a lot of static. He uses a lot of body English or Tippy English as it's called around here. But he can put that cue ball. He can make that cue ball move. Like, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's no doubt. And honestly, I mean, sometimes it looks like he's getting out of shape, but he'll play position to a harder shot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously that wasn't, but we saw it earlier. He'll play position to a hard shot. He's not afraid to take those difficult shots. I mean, Brian obviously isn't either, but I would say that Brian's a little bit more of a control player.
Yep. And Brian went to the second ball, and still came out dry.
See, now he was saying that when I had a chance to talk with him at the break, he thought he had a pretty solid 8-ball break. He was practicing, in between, but he wasn't afraid to go to that second ball break. So I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to break from there.
Yeah. Well, you got a pretty good breakout on that cluster. The 2-7 looks like the 7 looks like it goes by the 2. The only other ball he's got to kind of worry about, one ball cuts in the side or goes all the way up the rail. Be interesting to see how he navigates this. So I'm guessing he's going to go 3-ball, maybe the 7 next. Oh, he's playing for the 1 next.
I like that, actually. I think I would have gone after that 1 first. Try to get it out of the way.
But getting shape from the 1, maybe he runs. Maybe he's the angle to run forward into the 14.
I think he just holds it here and takes the 4-ball. I mean,
now he almost has to run into that pile now. I don't know if he can stun this off that rail. And if he tries to draw, he might hit the 10 ball. Well, he's drawing out of this. If he misses a 10, it'd be, oh, Jesus, that is a violation.
A good ball through.
Dan Hine on the extra commentary in the background.
Secondary commentator.
There's some love. Those guys play all that. They've been playing together for several years. They're good friends. They'll definitely get some help for something like that. That was a pretty tough shot, though. I mean, he had to hit that to where he didn't run into the 10. So we need to slow down.
I don't think you can see the 10 ball from there.
It's very thin. This would be a very slight spin shot if he's just going to play a little bit of low and a little left on this and should be able to make it.
I would expect Brian to get out from here even with that. So
I would be very surprised if he didn't. Drift over.
I think you've seen after that last rack. I think you've seen the last of the mistakes here now.
Yeah, 8-ball's a funny game. Definitely the pros and guys of this caliber can make a game look easy, but there's so many variables in it, and sometimes you get out of shape. We rolled a little far on that one, but
I think you can. I still think he'll be fine here.
Yeah, he's gonna back cut it.
You gonna drift down, take it in the side, you think, or just hold it?
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I mean, you want to get past the side pocket, and you can't hold it. If you end up, you might overcut it. Oh, you got it. Valley tables, folks. That's a good speed. So yeah, you can't. If you try and hold that, you get to hit it extra hard to go to the top right corner. So 4-ball's blocking it. So that would tie it up 1-1.
No, it's Brian's up 2.
Oh, it is 2. That's right. That's right. He didn't get the first one. That's right.
Should be 1-1.
So I wouldn't expect to see too many games where either one of them can make more than one mistake and win the game.
That's more than likely not going to happen much. I think most people tuning in are probably pretty familiar with these guys, but for the ones that aren't, I mean, they're both Masters players. I believe they both have several state championships underneath their belt. They've both done very well in some bigger tournaments, both singles and teams. These guys are definitely 2 of the best that the Sioux Falls area has to offer.
Yeah, like I was saying, in 8-ball league, they're both in the top 10 in EROs and 10 zips and average and games won. Pretty much every category you go and check them out. They're up there.
And they're both pretty fierce competitors as well. I mean, that's one thing I really like in both of their games. I mean, they both really, really want to win. You don't really see them gas out. You really don't see them. I mean, Tippy from time to time will look like he's playing really loose, but don't sleep on him. I mean, he's taking every shot and he's expecting to get out on every rack. So. What's he looking at here, Mark?
I think he's just trying to figure out his key ball and pattern. So what I would expect him to do here is play. I mean, this is actually a great shot. He's got a shot for the 12 on the side, and then or he's got a stop shot here, 12 in the corner, or 12 in the side, and then he'll run it forward for the 14 in the bottom left corner, the 9 up in the top left corner. He might have got a little bit goofy on this. I rolled it back just a tiny bit.
I don't think he wanted to do that, but I think he got away with it. I think he can still put some draw on this ball.
Yeah, well, and he can hit the bottom of this ball, but when he hit the 13 up the rail, he drew back a half inch, and that's the funny part about 8-ball. Yeah, you've got other options, but when you play at this level, you don't leave yourself those. Most players don't leave themselves that luxury.
So what's he looking at here for home on that 8-ball? Is he going to try and roll forward on the 14 and take it back?
He's going to pocket this 9-ball softly, and then he's going to leave himself a cut to the corner. And what he's going to try and do is he's going to hit this pretty firm. He's going to try and miss the 7-ball, come to the other long rail, and back over to the other long rail. So yeah, this is a good stroke shot, but he's got to miss the 7-ball. And
scratched.
God damn it, that was a hell of a shot. Probably the right, yeah.
That's definitely the right decision, I think, there. I mean, you could maybe try and get a hold of that 9-ball in the top left a little bit more and play straight to the top or to the bottom left pocket. But
yeah. He would have had to try and draw into that, and I don't know if he had enough of the bottom. Because if he would have just ran it forward, then he would have been queuing over the 9 or the 6-1 or 5.
Yeah.
And then you had to make sure you would be on, dead center or slightly to the left of the 10-ball.
I think Tippy got away with one there.
Yeah,
he should get out on this. I would expect him to get out on this.
He got kind of straight on this 4-ball. I mean, he can just stop it and make the 5 up in the corner, but I mean, that's the fun part about watching Tippy play. Like that's a little bit more conservative than his normal shooting. But I mean, he's taking this serious. He's not messing around. The only thing he's got to worry about here is shape to the 8. He got kind of close to this ball. This is actually not an easy shot. I mean, you can't.
You almost have to roll forward on it.
Yeah, this is. And
I think that's what he's looking at. I think he's looking at rolling forward and possibly knocking that 8-ball off the rail.
I mean, if he doesn't hit this good speed, even if he comes out 6 inches to the left of the 8-ball, he's gonna have a hard shot. That's a good shot.
Oh man, smelling like a rose on that one. That goes in the side all day.
Oh yeah, he's almost straight in. That worked out pretty well. That was a good shot. I think he was hoping to clip the 8 and maybe free it up, but I mean he made the shot. It went in within a ball of where he was aiming. He hit it with some authority and it ended up good. That makes it 2-1, 1-2, however you want to say it, since he's breaking.
So now you play with these guys pretty regularly. I don't, obviously. I just don't play much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But, what do you say these guys, I mean, is this the typical game? Has anybody still got a gear left to grab, or are we seeing the best of what they've got to offer?
Absolutely not. Not from either one of these guys. I mean, I probably play. Well, that was a very unfortunate scratch. I hit the tit in the side pocket and went right down the rail. You don't see that at a slow speed. You see that every once in a while. Somebody misses it at a high speed and it'll go. But anyway, no. Both these guys have another gear, and It'll be fun to see. Hopefully they both of them get to that point, because it'll be fun to watch. I played league all last year with Tippy, and we played in a tournament, and I won the 8-ball in Pier for the last month. And
oh, really? You guys won the 8-ball out there?
Yep.
Did not realize that. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. That was a lot of fun, and it's funny. Tippy's kind of a jokester. He's actually a really fun guy to hang out with. He doesn't take too much too serious, and he loves playing. He plays a lot, and it's funny when you play against him. He's got that free-flowing type of game, so it can be frustrating when you're playing against him, because you think you got him hooked, and then he pulls out some crazy shot, and you're like, good Lord, he's an excellent pool player, and he's got mechanical things that would not be considered
good.
Yeah, it's just different, and there's lots of guys. He's got a floating bridge, which is, I mean, mechanically, technically, if you were to talk to an instructor, that would be not.
If you were to talk to just about anybody, I think they'd agree that's not the way to shoot pool.
Yeah.
But I mean, what it comes back to, most people will tell you, in order to be good at this game, to really be good, you got to hit 1,000,000 balls. And if you hit 1,000,000 balls badly, you'll still be good.
Yep.
And I genuinely think that's really where his game comes from. He started young, no instruction, but the guy's pocketed 1,000,000 balls using that style. I'm with you. I don't think there's a person in the world that's going to look at that, myself included, and say, yeah, that's the way you should shoot pool. But hey, it works for him.
And it's definitely not a dig on him, because he shoots at an extremely high level. And you're right. And good instructors will tell you, if you have any sort of chinks or bad habits in your stroke or whatever, if you've already developed them, that's fine. You can work with those. And Brian, he's a very good chance. He's got a Jarvis back belt.
Oh, he stopped her dead, but I think he's good here,
he's
though.
All right. Just play a tiny bit of right on this 15 ball to hold for the 14. He's out. So, and that's where in 9-ball you usually have a little bit more room to make the cue ball move, and in 8-ball, it helps to be a little bit meticulous. So that was pretty good out. So he got a good breakout, and gave himself, he had a couple options left if he didn't get shape on the ball he broke out. So
yeah, but in reference to Tippy's form, I mean, obviously it's way different, but his style of play reminds me a lot of like your Keith McCready, those type of guys that just have they have one part of their game that's such a quirk, because Tippy's bridge is very unorthodox. He uses a lot of kind of moves his body around quite a bit while he's shooting, but his stroke is true. He strokes the ball very, very straight. He comes through the ball very, very nice. So I mean, it's just that one thing in this game that looks really unorthodox, but the rest of it is absolutely solid.
Yeah, he's, like I said, he's definitely, and I play with all of the best shots in South Dakota. I guess I've never played with Danny Olson. I've never played. I would definitely put him up there in the top shot and non-professional in South Dakota.
Absolutely,
but,
absolutely.
I've shot with Dan Hine and Matt Montgomery and Tippy and Dave Jennings and everybody. I've shot with all those guys, and I guess I've never actually shot with Dave Jennings in the tournament. But anyway, all of them have their strengths, and some people don't have weaknesses. I guess it doesn't really matter what I guess.
There's one guy here that doesn't have any weaknesses in his pool game, anyways. But
yeah, he's all right. He shoots okay.
We're talking about Shane Van Boning. He's down here watching. Him and Tippy are really good friends. Well, actually, I think him and most of the pool community are pretty good friends. But yeah, I mean, really outside of a couple of people, I think Tippy's kind of looked at as one of the top sticks. I'd definitely put both of these guys as top 10 best in the state. On any given day, you can make the argument for either as a top, number one. I think you'd like to debate that probably on any given day.
Not really. I mean, I have a lot of respect for both their games. As far as, I mean, all-around game, that's pretty tough. I mean, and that's the beauty of pool. I mean, you could be the best shot in the world. You could be ranked #1 and get your butt kicked by Karen Core.
Which has happened.
Yeah, Ko Ping-yi, #1 in the world, got beat by a woman, and I definitely don't mean that as a dig toward Karen. She would kick the crap out of everybody in this room except for Shane, and you know, and honestly,
she's giving Shane a run for his money though.
Well, and honestly, she beats Ko Ping-yi, and Shane has a lot of respect for that guy's game too. That guy's phenomenal, and I mean, everybody's got their strengths and weaknesses. If the best player always won in pool, nobody'd play.
Absolutely. You know, the other thing too is, you know, once you get to a certain level of pool, it doesn't matter how good the other guy is if he doesn't get out of his chair. Yeah. And that's just a fact of the game. I mean, and you know, this is a race to what? We're doing race to 8?
Race to 8.
I mean, I've seen Tippy put I think a 6 or 7 pack together playing this game.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen
both these guys are capable of
Ruth
running
at least
3,
do a
4.
4 or 5.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've played against him running, you know, and he's run 4 or 5 in a row. It's and you know, it's a lot of it's just comfort.
Oof.
Yeah, he was trying to create a little angle for the 15 ball. But he might have been able to just stroke that in. There again, that's, you know, your bridge, it's that medium range bridge where your hand's in the pocket and you're using the pocket. It's just, I don't care for that, and most players don't.
You know, really in that situation, I've always just said, screw it, go to that longer bridge up off of the pocket.
Yeah.
Just put your hand on the metal plate and behind the pocket. Use that slightly longer bridge, but then I shorten my stroke way up. So,
yeah.
You know, if it's a shot where I've really got to put something on it, then, you know, obviously you got to adjust. But in a situation like that, I just 2, maybe 3 inch stroke.
Yeah. If you can do that.
That's actually a trick I picked up from Sam Dissy.
He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he hits some balls every now and again. I've been told.
He's all right. He's all right.
He used to be a pretty good pool player.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to stick with.
Yeah. No, you know, it's interesting being, I guess, I don't know, I'll tell you what, 5'9", 10? Right
5'10"-ish.
5'10". So Brian's about the same height as I am, 6'2", and his normal bridge, or I'm sorry, like his normal stroke, his hand is almost at the very back of his cue. And it's funny because people give Earl Strickland crap about using it, you know, such a long cue, and Earl's not that big of a guy, but, you know, if you extend your bridge distance, then that shortens your backstroke. So if you have a longer cue, then it's not that big of a deal. And then also, if you do need to hit it firm with an extended bridge, you tend to get more deflection in your shaft since there's more distance between your tip and your bridge hand.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, obviously there's a ton of variable with that. Usually when I'm doing that, I'm looking at shots, playing center cue ball. You're not really trying to do much with it. You're just trying to pocket a ball. Really, it's a last resort. You know, you're only shooting that way when you're in trouble. So, but I also have.
Is this Tippy's first break? Yes.
I think this is Tippy's first break.
He's got 2.
Or no, he's got 2 wins. That's actually his second break. He scratched on his last one.
Oh yeah, he hit the tip.
Yep. So he breaks dry here. This is
he's got a shot on the 13, but then he has to. He pretty much has to play into the 9. If he can get the bottom side of the 9, he can take the 14 in the corner, and he should be home, or the 14 in the side.
I don't know. I think I'd almost shoot the 10 here.
No, the 10's not bad, but you can't play shape out of that. You would have to jack up. You thin the 13 ball in, and you'll just graze the bottom side of the 9 if he hits it properly, and then he might have the 15 by the 1, but he hit it firm. I don't know if that does that, but
that's what I was afraid of. He came out, I think, well. Can you see the 9 ball from there?
He can make the 10, and I think he could cut the 14 on the side if he needed to. But
Brian normally wears glasses, doesn't he? Did he get contacts recently, or is that a change?
He's always had contacts, but he works in construction, so he doesn't wear contacts during the day because he's in dirt and dust, and he's a framer, so he's got crap in his eyes all the time.
He did move the 4 ball there. Do you want to go put that back?
I don't know.
You'll be fine.
Hold on.
Oh, jeez. I think Tippy's smoking or something. Oh, Jesus.
What the hell?
Just rewind it. Let us see it on Instagram.
Oh, jeez. That's Annika. We'll give her a shout out because she'll probably yell at me if I don't.
Tippy said it's fine to leave it there.
Oh, this isn't too bad.
For anybody watching at home, I know there's a handful of people on here that aren't normally pool players, but Ryan did bump the 4-ball with his hand. It's not a foul. It is up to the other player as to what happens with it, whether it stays there, whether it goes back. So that was not a foul. And Tippy's okay with the placement on where it's at right now. And I think
That's a heck of a shot right there.
I'm not sure it's going to affect Ryan much here. I don't know. What do you do here? Do you think you take the 14 ball here?
It would have been nice to get a little bit better on the 12. But, you could cut the 14, but you'd have to do it slow and hit the top side of the 2 ball. He's going to try and kill this. That was a very risky shot. I don't think I would.
It didn't come out well for him.
Well, he was hoping to get past the 14 and take the 15 all the way up by the 5. But yeah, he's gonna have to come with a shot here or play a safe. It's the only problem about.
Why didn't he shoot the 14 ball there? Just hold it, take the 12 ball down in the corner, and then
he
come
would
back
have hit
over
the
15 through that window.
He would have had to play into the 2 to make the 12 on the side. So if he could have played into the 2 and not pushed it towards the 15, that would have been fine. But I think that would have been difficult to do.
Yeah. I was thinking just either that or even roll through, take the 15, and then try to come back to that window between the 2 and the 7. I mean, it's all semantics now, but I thought it was a bit of an odd choice to play that ball there.
Yeah, I might have tried the 14 in the side, but Brian's playing pretty confident, and I was hoping he could miss that 4 ball. Because honestly, if he doesn't graze that 4 ball,
he's set then.
He hit the speed. He had the speed right. He played a little bit too much. Played a little bit too much draw, and it checked up pretty quick. So.
I mean, a lot of times too, in my questioning like that, it isn't necessarily a question of Brian's decision.
Yeah, it's not criticism, sure.
It's really more out of a learning curve, because these guys are all much better pool players than I am. I'm like the average Joe. I shoot a little bit better than average, but definitely not a lot better, not anywhere near what these guys have.
Yeah.
So I mean, when I see stuff like that, I play to stay out of trouble more than anything else. I like to be able to just see the balls. I take a lot of harder shots because I don't get as confident in my position play. So it's absolutely not a question of Brian's ability or decision making on that shot. Just it's more of a learning curve.
Sure, just trying to understand what he's thinking, and that's the fun part about watching pool. A lot of people can't watch pool because they just, maybe they find it boring or whatever. But I watch a lot of pool. I watch a lot of snooker, and it's humbling. I shoot. I'm not quite to the level of these guys, and pretty close. I can hang with either one of them on any given day. But I would give both of these guys a slight nod. For now, I practice more than they do. I'll kick their ass. I'll kick their ass in a couple of years.
I think you're being pretty modest. I know you've done pretty well here in the last year or two. So,
yeah. Well, and regardless, the fun part about watching people play is you anticipate their next shot. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, pattern play is one thing that is it's an art. You can't. People don't teach pattern play, or people don't learn pattern play.
And, a lot of it I find is instinctual. I find that I play much better, especially 8-ball. I play much better 8-ball when I'm watching a lot of pool. Because pattern play is something that you don't have to play the game to learn. To practice your stroke, you have to hit balls. To practice your fundamentals, you have to hit balls. You can watch pool and learn pattern play. I mean, to an extent.
Part of it's feel, and I worked a lot with Tracy Thorson. When I first started helping her, she didn't know any pattern play. She just hit balls in it, and I got the opportunity to teach her, and and I mean her games come around a ton, but
State C champion, actually, I believe, which is I know a C division, but that's still very impressive. I mean, she hasn't been playing very long, and that's not a gimme. That's not a gimme tournament to win at state.
No, and
she's also my teammate, so big props there.
So it's interesting. You can teach and learn pattern play, but it's tough for people that have been playing a long time because really this might be interesting.
Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Dan High, never a doubt.
Hurry up and rack.
Yeah. Free flowing, that's Tippy.
Hey, you got to hit it in. Yeah, I mean.
Well, and he made a good shot on the 8, and Brian definitely would have taken the win. Brian wouldn't have felt good about winning that. He would have taken it, but he wouldn't have felt good about winning that game on a shot like that. It was that was a little reckless, but maybe that's Tippy signaling he's back in this.
I don't know about you, but I never feel bad when he scratches on the 8 ball. Not even a little bit.
I mean, on a shot like that, it's just whatever.
I think, and I've noticed too, watching Tippy play over the years, when he gets in stroke, when he's got a shot like that, I mean, that's really more for him. That's more just to build confidence.
And it's funny because I mean, if you ever talk to him, you ever play with him, he never lacks confidence. And that's part of it.
I don't think he lacks confidence in any aspect of his life.
No. And it's interesting because it's a blessing and a blessing and a curse depending on whether you're playing with him or against him. I mean, you're not going to rattle him. He's pretty. It's pretty uncommon for him to get too worked up about anything. He still loves playing the game and plays it to have fun. He likes to gamble here and there, but it's not like he won't.
Well, I mean, I think there would be more action. If there was more action, I think he'd be in more action. But I would definitely not classify Tippy as an action player versus a tournament player. He's good in both facets. But I would think of Ruth as more of a tournament player than an action player.
Yeah.
Not that it matters much. I mean, they're both very, very good.
Oh shoot, that was interesting.
That's pretty uncharacteristic.
Well, he's really got the 3 and the 6 to navigate everything. The 1 ball's on it. That's the worst spot in the pool right there.
20% chance. Yeah, the one time
I don't know.
shape, you missed the ball.
Kind of.
Dan Hine, the one time he plays shape, he misses the ball.
See, I don't know. I guess this isn't.
There's color commentary for you.
If you can make the 6 here, is it going 2, 5, and then I don't know if he's going to try and draw back into the 6. If he's got the angle, that's a great shot. But I don't know.
What do you do about that 1 ball from there, though? I mean, you almost have to try to move it.
My first shot would have been a safety on the 1. I would have hit the 1 to the rail and pulled the cue ball out, try to leave it within a ball, and he would have had no shot. I mean, he's not going to jump that close to the 1 ball, and then that frees the 1 ball. So, and then if you get ball in hand, you can start with the 3 and get the hell up. Get that a little firm. He's still got
Maybe he has a little bit of rail to work with on the top side of that 1 ball.
And Brian has exactly 0 problem with back cutting that 1 and making it inside. I guarantee it. That's a high percentage shot for him. He's an excellent
really?
shot. Absolutely. So now it's so 7 goes in the corner. That's a pretty good shot. He's a little bit short on what he wants to do, but here again, he can play this 2 ways. He can try and roll up on the rail and either, I don't know, you have to be straight on that 1 to. He's gonna.
Well, he's still got to dig that 3 out of there.
He's gonna play it probably. If he was straight in on the 1, he could make the 1 and pull back for the 3. But
I think he might have a little bit of rail to work with there. But
yeah, he's about maybe an inch and a half too far. So now he's gonna cut the 3 and run to the 12 and hope for a pretty good shot. He might be able to bank the 3 once back. If that's there, I would expect him to take that. But I don't know. How
are you going to get back there? I mean, there's not a great way to get shape on that 1 ball for the bank or the cut.
Well, if he's about a quarter. He could actually make this and hit the tip. It's not froze on the rail. I can see a little bit of distance, and you can see that
if you stand up, he's got about maybe ½ inch to an inch of rail to work with.
Yeah,
between the 1 and the side. I think he's going to just try and draw this thing.
Yeah, I don't
know
like
any
this.
other way to get there.
Yeah, it's a good shot, good stun shot. He used the tip there. So
So now I'll be shooting along on the 8-ball. You think here?
no,
Or he's banking.
Yeah, like I said, he lacks no confidence in banks. I mean, he's an excellent bank shot, but he's got to play a stun. I don't know if he's going to try and he can stun it and then take it in the same pocket.
I think he might be drawing it.
If he does, it's for position. He played a little bit. He had a little bit of left English on there. He might have. I mean, Tippy's got the 14. I'm sure he'll probably get out here, but he ended up with a little bit of left English he did not want to put on that ball, and that spun it out by a diamond and a half.
Now, I mean, on a shot like that, you do have to hit it firm, of course. Was he trying to hold that ball, or was he trying to come off the rail?
He was trying to hold it, and honestly, it was almost a dead bank. It was pretty close. He just because the cue ball didn't travel very far.
No, it didn't.
So he just ended up with when he followed through, he put a little bit of left English on the cue ball, and it spun it out. No, Tippy's. He's all right here. So he's a little bit on the wrong side of the 15 ball.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
But here again, that's the genius of his game, man. He can miss this and be on the rail and still make the 9 ball.
Oh, I don't know if I'd have played it that way, but I think he'll be fine still.
Well, and that's the thing. When you shoot that well and you're that confident in every shot you take, it doesn't matter where you leave the cue ball. If you get a look at the ball, he's going to make it a high percentage of the time. So and it's not isn't necessarily do on purpose, but he doesn't have to worry about his. If you take the average person's selection of shots they hate to shoot, this is a lot smaller because he just shoots that well. He makes balls. That's what
and just like that, he goes from a 3-1 deficit to a 4-3 lead. So.
I got a tab up there too. Cool, thanks. So that'll make it 4-3 Tippy with his break. He's got a couple of runs. It hasn't been. I don't know. That was a tough table to pick through. Brian almost got through it. But 3-ball on the cue ball. This is not terrible for stripes, it looks like. Really, the only ball he's got to kind of half worry about is the 10 ball, and that's pretty well open. He's a very big favorite to run this table. I would guess he's going to play the 9, then the 12, and then I would imagine he'd probably play the 11 to the 10. I would use the 15 for your key ball or your last ball before your 8 ball. I think he's trying to draw him to the 10 here. Nope, that was just a good little stun draw. That's an important shot to have in your arsenal. Oh, he's a little past the center. Oh, that worked out. It's a good part about playing on a valley. You got a lot of table, a lot of pocket. Do this a couple ways. This is actually he's got about a 15-degree cut. He's just going to play a little top, a little right, and clear that shot, and he's home free. That's a good run. Unfortunate scratch by Tippy there. I guess I wasn't paying. I was watching the balls when I didn't see if he got kicked in off the right. Getting some crap from the peanut gallery over there. Oh, they're trying to read my lips apparently. Oh. Okay. Weird. The girls are giving me heck. Weird.
Yeah.
I'd probably bring it upon myself, or whatever. So I guess we updated yet. Get it there.
Scores 4-4 now. Brian got on that last track pretty quick.
Yeah, Tippy he scratched up in the bottom right corner and appealed to it pretty quick. Neither one of these guys, you give them ball in hand, even in the kitchen, an open table, and you're just going to be sitting in your chair. Yeah, I would like to start with the 1, but that would involve queuing over the 4, and that makes that a little bit more difficult. I don't care what level you play at. Nobody likes queuing over a ball. You can't play unless you have automatic shape. You can't play any of this.
Those are some of the more oddball things that you've really got to be good at in this particular game. I mean, 8-ball, there's obviously a lot more traffic, but is that something that you practice for? When I used to play a lot more, I would practice some of the more oddball stuff. I would practice shots off of the rail, frozen to the rail, over balls. Not that ideally those are the shots you want to avoid, but when they come up, you have to be ready to fire at those.
Absolutely, yeah. That's you got an unfortunate double kill. He got a good roll there.
Didn't do too bad. He's still got the 4-ball there.
He does, but the problem you're going to run into is he has to. This is going to be a tough shot. He actually has to play back for the 5, either play back for the 5 or play back for the 7-5 combo. Because making the 5, that's a hell of a shot right there.
Oh man.
So you can't leave those 2 balls there because the 15 and the 13 are in the way. You can't kind of crisscross easily to get by there. So you can't roll this too far. Ooh,
so what's he looking at here now, realistically, in the 7? It doesn't look like it banks. He's almost got to get back on it for that for the lower or top left corner, right?
He's going to play this with right English, and he might hit the 15. Oh,
and then he missed.
That's a tough shot. Throws on the rail. You have to play. You can't just play top and get shape on the 7-ball. So he just understroked the shot before he understroked the shot on the 5 for the shape on the 2. If he gets off the rail an inch, he's fine. But because he was frozen on the rail, he was forced to play top, and there's just too much traffic. So I don't see.
That 14-ball can be a little tricky, but he's got the 10-ball to work with. He'll just stop
shot on the 10, 14 in the corner.
I don't know if
it's interesting. It's interesting to, the tables have been fairly runnable. That one wasn't.
That one was a little tricky, but sometimes it only takes 1 ball to be hung up like that to stumble.
Yeah.
So
I don't remember if there's been any safeties played. It's been pretty.
Not in the 8-ball, a couple in the 9.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you're right
Tippy
there.
would have liked to go another 4 or 5 inches to go straight in on the 10. So
I think they both played more safeties on themselves than they have on each other.
He's kind of back in the same boat. He can make this 10. He's going to play this with low right and play a stun shot. So he doesn't want to get too far away from the 14. That's a great shot. So
he's a little bit on the wrong side of the 14-ball here. He's got to move the 8.
I would imagine he might be able to jam it and go around it. That's what I imagine he's going to do.
I'm guessing so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, perfect.
That's a pretty good shot. He's pretty straight in now. He's going to play the short side at the 11. Unless he tries to. He's playing some right English. That's a good shot. Good speed right there.
Is he a little straight on that, or no? He's got enough angle to work with.
Yeah.
And think he's going to take the 8 in the side, or is he going to come back up?
Yeah, that's the right shot. You can try and get fancy. Just make the ball. You can roll it for another 2 inches and go up the corner.
Or you can just make us both look like fools, right?
Well, that doesn't.
I don't know if
everybody's giving him heck in the background. It's interesting when, and he's a favorite to make that ball from about anywhere on the table. But when you're playing at I'm just saying this is definitely not a dig at his last shot, but when you play at a lower level, you tend to get a little too creative because it's a lack of confidence in your ability to make that ball. He could have played a stop shot and cut that in the corner, or rolled it forward 3 inches and went in stop shot, take it in the side, or rolled it forward 3 or 4 inches and take it in the top left corner. But he opted to get a little bit. He moved the cue ball a bit. So you see that a little bit more when players are not as confident in their shot, which is kind of funny because like I've said 100 times, it's a very confident shot. But, you would think he would have laid up and played a,
I'm shooting that ball on the side 9 times out of 10.
yeah.
When it comes to and obviously my 8-ball game's far different than his, but I am all about keep it simple. Simple shape. I very seldom try to turn the cue ball loose. When I do, I usually get myself in trouble. So, but I mean, and that's just that's the difference in styles. I mean, there's no wrong way to get out as long as the 8-ball drops when it's supposed to.
Yeah, and it's funny because he gets out a lot. I'm pretty sure he's top 1 or 2 in EOs. It's delicious. Dan Hine wanted to know how my beer was. It's delicious. Bud Light.
Oh, real quick,
Nice
we're
and
down
cold.
here at JJ's Billiards over on 12th Street, West 12th Street. They're graciously hosting this event for us. It is free admission. It's a heck of a show if you guys want to come down and see it. Our other sponsors include Keith Custom Cues, as well as MAP Pool, so the Midwest Amateur Pool.
I think Pool Track still. I don't know if he's.
I don't think Pool Tracks is sponsoring us, but shout out to Pool Tracks. Those guys do some good stuff.
Here, this doesn't look like a tough cut, but I mean, he had about 2% of the ball he had to hit to get that. Well, this might have just got interesting
All right,
here.
finally we're going to see a tippy out.
From the background, his teammate. Now we're finally getting to see some tippy pool.
He said now we're going to get to see a tippy out. So Troy Obrempf, another very, very highly respected pool player. You know, he's getting crap from some of the best players in the state. So that was a very good shot. It was kind of tight by the 11. Not exactly sure what he's going to do with this 1-7. See, what the book tells you to do probably is to line up a fairly straight shot on the 1-7, or honestly, what I would probably do is just graze the 6 ball. I'd graze the 6 and put the cue ball to the right.
Yeah, that's what I figured he'd
But
do.
there's Tippy. He ended
Break
up,
it out.
so he's almost straight in on the 1, and the 7 probably goes by the 13. So
Tippy plays the way I dream of playing.
that's a genius of his game, man. I mean, he swung into that and came out smelling pretty good.
I mean, the thing is when I say that, I mean I prefer to play an aggressive style of play. One of the guys I learned how to play from, Adam Banky, he was always adamant that in this game specifically, an 8-ball bar box pool, if you think that you can get out, play the out. So, and that's how I've played since day one, and I mean, the early stages were not pretty. It's gotten better. I once in a while get an ERO.
Yeah, it really depends on what you're playing for. I mean, honestly, if you're...
I don't vary my game up no matter what I'm playing. Tournament, money, doesn't matter. I play the same way, and I think that's huge.
You say that, but I think you'd surprise yourself. But when you're playing individual pool, then you can play as freeform as you want. If you're playing in a match and you have to play a certain way to secure a round, or if you need 6 balls to say you need 4 balls to get out on rack, or to get out of pod play, or to secure a win, you're going to play a little bit different.
That in that regard, yes. I mean, it's situational pool, yes, but if it's a one-on-one match like this, what I was talking about is I don't care if it's $10 on the line or $500 on the line. I'm going to play that. I'm going to play the same way that I play. In my opinion, the game, you have to play with what you're comfortable with, and I think that especially for Tippy, he plays a certain style of pool. He plays a certain way, and when he gets away from playing that style of pool, he doesn't play as good. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think most people fall into that category. I mean, some guys can change their game and do some different things, and I'm just not one of them. I think most people play better when they play their game.
Well, and I definitely agree with that. I guess what I don't agree with trying to get out on, if you think you can get out on rack, because honestly, when you shoot as well as both these guys do, there isn't a shot you can't see. You can see anything, and it's a game of percentages. Even if a 50% shot is not a good shot to take. I mean, if you're to make that shot and there's a 50% chance that you're going to make leave, there's probably you're trying to win. Sorry about that.
But in regards to getting on the rack,
if you're
yes.
playing for points, like if you're like say you're playing in a match and you're playing pod play, and you have points are more important than winning. I mean, you running out 7 balls is more important than actually winning the game. You don't want to take a risky shot right away. I guess my point is, like, here you're trying to win. It doesn't matter how many points you have on the table, how many points your opponent does. Yeah, you know, one good safety in any discipline of pool can win you a match. Where, you know, you might try and take 5 difficult shots. This is actually pretty good. He's going to make the 9 ball and just get slightly to the right side of the center line of the 13 ball. They got to roll it forward about a quarter minute. Looks like he's stunning it. He might be taking it off the 3rd and the 6th.
Yeah.
I definitely would not have tried that shot, but
I think he can still get back there. I mean, he's really going to have to let some stroke out on this. I mean, he's got to hit that window between the 1 and the 3.
yeah.
I mean, you can maybe go forward on it and try and come around 2 rails, 3 rails, maybe to the bottom.
Yeah. Shed carpet, you're probably not going to get there.
No matter what he does, he's going to have to stroke this ball. I don't envy him on this shot.
He'll play with some low right. He's just going to stroke it. He gets a good stroke on each shot here, right? He's playing low left. He tried to get pretty creative there. But
Yeah,
then see, that's what I'm saying, and that's a interesting. I don't know. It looked like from here, and maybe it's we're.
I'm with you. I think it looks like low right. He tries to draw, hit that window between the 3 and the 7, or the 1 and the 3.
More specifically, the shot before that, it looked like the 6 and the 13 were close, but it looked like the 16 went in the top right corner, or the 13 went in the top right corner. He could have made the 9 in the side and just let it drift forward a tiny bit and cut the 13 in the top right corner, and he would have had shape for the 11-8. It's hard to say. I mean, obviously people play this game quite a bit different. But
I'm with you. I think that's just a mental error. I think Ruth is.
He was probably trying to clear maybe, and like I said, maybe the 13 didn't. Maybe it wasn't as cut and dry, but he hit it firm, and the 13 went too far. It was a calculated shot. He was trying to move the 13 ball, but it just didn't. Obviously, just didn't work out. So, and this is at this level, you can't. There's 100 words for it. You can't workhorse a table. You can't make 5 balls and miss. I mean, if you dedicate yourself to running the table, you better be able to do it, or you're going to lose.
We got a little on a line here. I think he'll be fine, but
yeah,
uncharacteristically out of shape there.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I don't know if he has to hit I don't know if he's gonna hit the 8. And this is so thin. This is actually.
I don't think he can hold it and keep it off of the 8.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna try and push that 8 out.
It's a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
Pretty good shot. Tippy capitalizes on it.
Tippy on the hill now, 7-4.
So it's interesting, it's 7-4, but there again, I think there's been, in the first 2 games there was a couple mistakes from both players, but positional mistakes. Brian missed that bank a couple games back up in the bottom right corner, and then that shot he was trying to do a lot with the cue ball. He just unfortunate to didn't really get an opportunity to. There really hasn't been a whole lot of mistakes. So I mean, and
when you're in tight quarters like this, though, where you're working on that ERO, though, if you miss by an inch, you might as well miss by a mile when it comes to your shape, and that's all that happened to Brian. I mean, he overrolled that position. I mean, he underrolled that position on that last shot by just a little bit, and he really paid the price for it.
He would have got kicked. He got a little.
This track could get a little ugly.
That's not a very good.
I think we're going to finally see some safety battle.
Oh, I think it might be a little early for that. Watch him play the 8-2-4-12 combo. What did you hear what he just called?
No, I didn't. What did he call?
He just called the 12 ball. Oh, he played the 7. That was 100% wired. He could have hit any one of those balls and made it go. But, and he
Still a little bit of a mess, but it's pretty
really
simple from here.
Just getting in to make the 15 and getting out of there. That's the only shot. He can make that here.
I think he'll probably play stop or stun shape off that 10 ball, take the 15 now.
No, I think he goes 15. Or I
don't think he can see the 15 from there.
No, it'll be 10, 9, 15, 11, 8.
No flash photography, folks.
We're just talking about Tracy. Bring her outside.
Well, he plays the stop shape on the 10, or stun.
Yeah, all right. Well, he's gonna use a 9 as his key ball. That's not a bad shot either. As long as he gets this.
Floats right through there.
So he's queuing over the 7, which isn't really going to make a bit of a difference.
I mean, he's just going to run it in.
He's got to be 2 inches off the rail, and you get plenty of room to do it.
This should be the match here.
This should be for the match.
I think that died a little more than he wanted, but I still like his odds to make this 8 ball.
Oh yeah.
So now I believe the stipulation on this is if 2 out of 3 you win the set. Of course, I think they're playing for a certain set of money for each set, and then if you win the overall, there's also a bonus.
Yep.
So we're not done yet. They're still going to play the 10 ball set, and there is still a significant amount of money on the line for that set and the overall. So stay tuned. Still a lot of pool left to be played. It's definitely not over yet.